I'm glad that more people are talking about salt. I've been talking about it for a while. We just don't get enough. We've been told for so long that salt is bad because it's so untrue. When you ate less salt, you ate more sugar.
I was thinking you're a scientist because you are. You're a scientist and a researcher. So you've spent a lot of time in labs, but upgraded formulas, this is the ingredients that you've figured out through your own health journey that we need from a mineral level. And the soils are depleted. I mean, I've read literature that it's 80 to 90% trace minerals that are not in the soil that used to be in the soil. Passing it back to you, like there's a huge frame here for this conversation about minerals specifically, looking at those as nutrients totally separate from protein, carbs, and fat. Like this is not a macronutrient conversation. This is like the micros that become the macros.
So well said. I gave a talk to KetoCon last year that was micros over macros is what I called it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I and you're the first person I've heard put it this way, but it's people obsess about macros, I think, because it's easy to think about. When we step back for a moment and we realize no matter what diet you're currently are in love with, or hopefully not having it become part of your identity, but you're getting benefits from, whatever diet that is, know that it will change over time because your nutritional requirements will change over time, because your life will change over time, because your absorption, your ability to absorb will change over time. Whatever your macros are, they're only worthwhile based on what they break down to, right? So understanding that, you go, wow, okay. There's a lot of talk on hormones right now. What are hormones? Like, what are the building blocks of hormones? And I can stand in a room of functional medicine doctors, and a lot of people actually won't be able to answer that. They'll be able to help you correct them, very possibly. Why don't we just supply the body with minerals? Your body can't make minerals. It has to come, and it usually, in the case of minerals, has to come daily because you're just not holding on to chromium or magnesium or things like that.
Otherwise known as essential. Would you call it essential nutrients, essential minerals? How would you describe it?
Essential, yeah. Required, fundamental. So with that, I realized, there's this huge problem that we have and I had, and I was in my mid-20s when I was discovering this issue, in my mid-30s now, and thinking I was fit, ate a good diet, had good discipline, had good people in my life, was lucky enough to be born in a first world country, and just have all these things that were just advantages, just lucky enough to be gifted that, right? I realized I had deficiencies that look like an 80-year-old in poor health. Like, we have 80-year-olds that come to us that are in good health and their levels still look better than mine did. Wow. I had severe deficiencies, for sure. What was really troubling, stressful, and angering about it was I had been taking 3 to 5 of these different nutrients for over a year. Taking, reasonable, RDA amounts, 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium or so, and I was chronically deficient. Not deficient a little bit, but way, way down.
In the magnesium specifically?
In magnesium, in manganese, in chromium, in potassium, in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm glad that more people are talking about salt. I've been talking about it for a while. We just don't get enough. We've been told for so long that salt is bad. What happened there was it was faulty research funded by sugar interests that realized that when you ate less salt, you ate more sugar.
This is the same research behind some of the really, I guess you could say, misresearch, misinterpreted, misappropriated doctors that fought to say saturated fat and butter are killing people. And the sugar industry, it's a quick search online. I mean, this isn't a conspiracy theory.
Right. It's a quick search.
It's a quick search. The sugar industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I digress, but I had to mention that because we've explored that on the show, but I had no idea that it also applied to sodium. I thought it was just for the saturated fat.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's wild. So there's that. And then what I realized was, okay, I had these deficiencies, but I wasn't unique in that. Anyone would have it if I had all those things. I was doing all those things, eating organic, etc. I remember thinking, come on, I'm willing to do the work, but you're not even, until I did this test, I'd spent $15,000 on other tests, lots of improvement, but nothing moved the needle more than maybe 10%.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not good enough. Again, back to the energy thing. I was thinking, how am I going to write books? How am I going to live a great life? How am I going to achieve a lot of the goals I have a family, all these things, make an impact, make a dent in the universe? So I realized that absorption, it was really, really key. That was an immediate thought. But when I had that amazing consultation, he was saying things to me like, Barton, I imagine you haven't remembered your dreams in a while. And I'm going, how do you know that? And he did that 8 or 10 times. And now in consultations, all of our nutritionists that take calls for us, walk people through, and they ask that they don't just say things. They actually listen. They ask questions like these. It's a new lens that you get when you go through a consultation. So it's an important part of what we do. Hopefully we'll be able to continue to offer that as we grow more and more as a company. But right now soon we'll have 6 nutritionists doing that for us. It's really, really helpful. To have someone to talk you through this, because for its value, I think it's the most valuable test when interpreted well.
Yeah.
There's just a lot to it.